So I just wanted to check this is an important skill for you to be able to use and read maps. Hopefully you're not always going to have your phone to use it. And we are using ratios. You see ratios on maps. I presume at some point in INS you'll be reading maps and things. Done it already. This is why I'm hoping this will be done. So it says the scale of this map is 1 to 15,000. Do you know what that means? Yes.
It means count like 1 mile is like 150,000 inches or like it's converting the measurements to smaller ones.
It isn't actually. That's the comment. No, it's not.
What?
I bet he didn't. So you might have got that. So it is a way of shrinking things down. But basically, what we're saying is the ratio of 1 to 15,000 means on a map, 1 centimetre on the map is in real life 15,000 centimetres. So actually, what's important is the units don't change, so it doesn't make them smaller. Basically, it does shrink things down so we can draw them. But one, in this case, actually, let me write it. You can write it. 1 centimetre will be 15,000 centimetres. Now that's on the map. This is in real life. Now equally, on the map, if the map was big enough, I could say 1 metre measured on the map is 15,000 metres in real life. One millimetre, tiny little measurement, is the same as 15,000 millimetres in real life. Yeah. So, for instance, if I were to take this measurement here, all right, you're doing my head in the food. So. All right. So, for instance, if I take this distance here, this one here, look. Let's just say that on my map, I get my ruler out and I measure that being 2 centimetres on the map. How much in real life is it? Yeah.
30.
So if it's 1 to 15,000, it's going to be 2 to 30,000.
If it's
Now, what we're saying is then that on the map, this is 2 centimetres. In real life, it's 30,000 centimetres. Now, let's just work that out. So, this is why I think people get confused a little bit. So, if the ratio is map is 1, real life is 15,000. So if I do 2 centimetres on the map, in real life is 30,000 centimetres. Now what we can do is we don't tend to measure that many centimetres in real life. What do? We convert it to metres or so. So how many metres is 30,000 centimetres? Well, 1 centimetre is actually, no, sorry, 100 centimetres is 1 metre. So if we divide by 100, we get 2 centimetres on the map is actually 300 metres in real life. And that's a bit more understandable, isn't it? 300 metres in real life. So the 2 centimetres on my map is 300 of these. Which, if you then know that 1,000 metres is 1 kilometre. So this is actually 2 centimetres on the map is actually only 0.3 kilometres. All of these things mean the same thing, but different units. What's important is that initial stage where it's very important to know that if I measure in centimetres on the map, the measurement in real life is in centimetres, nothing else. If I measure in millimetres on the map, the measurement in real life is in millimetres. And we don't tend to like millimetres. What do you mean? Higher than centimetres on a map? Not in the well, probably, but in real life content, we tend to stop at kilometres. Just like we have feet and miles, there's nothing really more than miles. We would say, oh, it's 100 miles or 1,000 miles. But it's nothing more than miles. There's nothing more than kilometres, really. Okay. A good question. So I'm going to give you this because there's a bit of a joke on Facebook of they say, oh, you know, people that don't understand. So actually, let's see whether you get it. So the ratio of kilometres to miles is that 1 mile, 1.602 kilometres. So which one is longer? So if I said to you, this is the funny joke on the internet that I've seen, which is a signpost like this, all right, and the sign says water, and you've got kind of a man crawling, he's really thirsty, and it says water 1 mile or water 1 kilometre. Which way would you go, left or right? Which way would you go? Will you change to? Why? Because 1 mile is longer than 1 kilometre, because 1 mile is actually 1.6 kilometres. Yeah? I'm actually going to give notifications now because you've disrupted my lesson, even though you're sat completely opposite ends of the room. And I've recorded it on Instagram. You're on YouTube. I'll tag you in it. You can put it on your own channel. Alright. How do you feel about that to start with? Right? Well, let's have a look at the questions then. If you measured 4.7 on the map, you've now got some information. Did you write this down, by the way?
Yes.
This bit's important. Write it down in your notes. Let's do the first one together. So, if you measured 4.7 on this map, how far is it in real life? Well, like we said, the ratio is 1 to 15,000, right? So the first thing we can do is say, well, that is 4.7 to, well, how many? How do we write that as the equivalent ratio? So we have to, this has been multiplied by 4.7. So we have to multiply by 4.7. So what's 15,000 times 4.7?
7,505.
Okay, so this is the important bit. So 4.7 centimeters on the map in real life is actually 70,500 watt. .7 centimeters on the map is how many 70,500 watt in real life. Centimeters, good. It doesn't change. The number's bigger, but the units don't change. Now, that's fine. So 4.7 on the map is how far in real life? 70,500 centimeters. But they want it in meters, not centimeters. So, yes. Divided by how many centimeters go into 1 meter? 100. So let's divide it by 100 and we get 700. 705 meters. So 4.7 centimeters on the map is 705 meters in real life. But we did it in the 2 steps. So we used our skills on equivalent ratios that you've been working on. And then we used the ratio, which is 1 meter is 100 centimeters. Okay? And that's what we used. We need to divide by 100. Yes.
You divide it to times it.
Okay, so for instance, if you did the same problem, yeah? So if you did part A, but what you did was right, well, it's 1 to 15,000, and you measured it as 47 millimeters. What would you do here? So this would be times by 47. So what's this? Times by 47. You shouldn't need one, actually. Because it will just be 705,000. Because this one is only 10 times that one. So that would be in millimeters. So we then have map 47 millimeters, real life 705,000 millimeters. But what we would do is divide by 10 because 1 centimeter is 10 millimeters. So we would then do 70500 centimeters, and that puts us where we were anyway. So now we would divide by 100 to get 705 meters.
If you divide it.
Yes, that would be a one-step way to do it, definitely. All right. So this way just doesn't add a couple of extra steps. This is the better way to do it. But about the next question, B, how do we do that then? So 350 meters in real life. So let me do it with you. So we've got map, real life. It tells me it's 350 meters. Yeah. So I'm actually going to give myself a bit of space because what I should have written was 1 to 15,000. And they're telling me I've got 350 meters. So how do I figure out what that will be on the map? Using our equivalent ratio skills. Well, the question is, all right, what do you divide by to get from there to there? Or you can think of the other way. What do you times by to get from there to there? So 350 times what gives me 15,000 to use our ratios? So what do you want to do? This one? So let me just rewrite it. So 1 to 15,000, you want to do what first? Why do you want to times by 350? But we're doing it the other way round. We're on the other side now. In the previous example, we knew what it was on the map and we were working out real life. This time round, we know what it is on real life and we want to know what it is on the map. So we're doing it the opposite direction. What we can do is actually, I'm going to do it in 2 steps like we've done before. If we divide by 15,000, we get 1, right? And then we times by 350 and we get 350. So we got to do the same on the other. So we're going to do 1 divided by 15,000. Then we're going to do that times 350. What do you get? So let's do it step by step. So 1 divided by 15,000 is, so I've got 0.000067, and if I times that by 350, I get 0.023. All right. Now, what does that mean? Charlie, he doesn't need to keep discussing with you. Don't feel like it's your personal job to discuss with Skylar. All right. So what does that mean? Well, that means if in real life it was 350 meters, right? That's real life. On the map, it would be 0.023 meters. Does that make sense? Yeah? But what did it want as our answer? It wanted our answer, right? How far would you measure? Oh, okay, it doesn't actually tell us. 0.023 meters. Now, we could change that, though, into how many centimeters would that be? 0.023 meters. If we times by 100, we get 2.3 centimeters, because times by 100 gives me centimeters. We could then times by 10 and get 23 millimeters. Okay. No, Millimeters are smaller, therefore there's more of them in the same space, yeah? All right. Some people are not being 100% focused. I know it's the end of the day and I know it's a difficult time of the day and it's also a difficult topic, but that doesn't mean it's not going to appear in an assessment. Okay, so I understand it's difficult, but ask questions if you need to. There's lots of steps. That's why these kind of questions are the 5, 6, 7, and 8 questions. All right. All right. How do you feel about that? So remember, the question stated that in real life, we know something is 350 meters. Therefore, if you were drawing a map with this scale, how far apart should it be? It should be 2.3 centimeters apart. All right, that's what we've just worked out. All right. So I believe there is one final question, which is on the map, the distance between two control points circling is 79 millimeters. Find the real line. So you should be able to answer that question now. Go for it. So the other one was they must be 79. So can you do that? While I'm recording for a video later.
Wait.
It's good practice for reading your numbers from last year.
1,000,000. 1,085,000. 5,000.
1,185,000. What unit is that?
Place value.
What unit is it? Millimeters. Oh, okay. So I know, guys, 79 millimeters on the map. If I got a map in front of me, mention 79 millimeters in real life would be 1 million plus millimeters. Now, we need to convert into real life units. So let's go from millimeters to centimeters. What do we do? Divide it by 10, because 10 millimeters group together to make 1 centimeter. So bigger unit, less of them. So take 10 millimeters, group them to make 1 centimeter. So if we divide by 10, we get 1.
180. 1,500.
Then we want it in meters. So how many centimeters in a meter? So we divide by 100 because 100 centimeters gets squashed together to make 1 meter. So we then get 118.5. So 79 millimeters on my map represents 118.5 meters in real life. Yeah. I am not going to do any more of this map scale stuff, and I'm not going to give you time in class to do it. All right? Yes. So what have I done? Well, you've got the stuff in the textbook, but I also, under today's channel, I put a transom task, all right, online on your laptop, where you have to type in the answers. Now, I'm not going to set it specifically for homework, because what I can't be bothered with is to have a discussion where you copy it off your friend. Oh, I just didn't have time. I had to go and feed my seahorse.
Seagull.
Guys, that does mean it is there for you. It is there for you to do Brooklyn Vote. I am recording. I'm losing my voice because Chase, I have to talk over you as well. So that means in the textbook, this question comes from the exercise and the transfer class is there for you to do a bit of practice on it. If you arrive and say, I need some help, I can help in class. Don't bother, Alice. We go on to the next thing. Okay,